Hi guys, my name is Alexei Kravitsky. I just came back from the AL conference in Paris where I did this lightning talk, and I also did this talk before at some other places, but I never got recorded. So every time I put the slides of this talk onto the SlideShare, I got quite a few people asking me where can they see the recording. So I just decided to make this recording for you guys, for those who just didn't see me talking about that, but who feel this might be a very important thing, as I feel it is. So, dejurification, three-year process. What's that? Well, whichever company I see these days, and I see quite a lot of companies a year, we use different kinds of backlog management tools. They come in different forms, different shades, different colors, but in the end they serve the same purpose. Help us to manage the backlogs, right? Help us to manage the inventories. There's a report called State of Agile report by the version 1 company, and they claim that Jira and Excel are the most commonly used tools in Agile. Well, I'm not sure about you. I mainly work in Europe and in Eastern Europe, and in my experience, it's Jira in 95% of cases, right? So I just call these all tools Jira, yeah, just for the sake of having one name. French call it Jira, the Germans prefer to call it Jira for some reason, but I'll just call them Jiras from the small j, yeah? I'm not picking a particular tool. I don't care about the tools. What I care about is the dynamics the tool create in our teams, in our environments. So this talk is about the dynamics on people, yeah? So the inventories. As I said, we all use these tools to manage inventories, right? Of input requirements, of the work in progress, and all that. Everybody knows inventories are wasteful. And the bigger your inventory is, the more waste you're currently producing. Well, we all need inventories, right? To be able to know what we were working on and be able to plan and predict and prioritize our work. But the tools, these online tools, they give you incredible flexibility of having very long, in fact, infinite inventories. And this is scary. So what happens when your inventory is a little bit out of order? You actually grab a few people or the teams and you lock yourself in a meeting room and you do your backlog refinement meeting. Some people call it grooming, right? Or story time, or whatever it's called. In fact, that's a meeting which is, in my case, is not super funny, not super, I don't know, not super cool meeting to be at. The thing is that how it usually is done is that product owner plugs a beamer to his laptop, they open up Jira screen, and they show up being the list of Jira topics, and then they go through these Jira topics one by one, by one, by one, by one, right? Until most likely the time box is over. Yeah, how agile is that? So what I don't particularly like about this meeting is that it's a meeting where people don't talk to each other. It's a meeting where the team looking at a tool and doing something in a tool. In fact, it's a meeting where the team meets the tool. So if you tell me in this 21st century we're not controlled by robots, I bet we are. We're all controlled by the tools we use. And that's scary. I try different things. I tried how to improve these meetings. I try to print the Jira tickets and put them on a table and let people manage them and have lively discussions. I tried to time box the discussions so that they can actually discuss more than one or two things during one meeting. I try to help people to break up in different groups and maybe even update the Jira tool later after the meeting. But no matter what I try, it improves a little bit, but it's still that's what I call a Jirified meeting. It's not super cool meeting to have. So the effect, in fact, was so bad that I coined a term. I call it Jirandicitis. It's a sickness of organizations. It's an observable process when team collaboration is degrading to become a plain tool updating activity. Have you guys seen that? Well, in fact, it's so bad that I'm launching a Jira Hub program. So I hope you guys can join me for that. In fact, one of my clients has recently joined me for this rehab program. And what we did, we stopped the Jira license basically. We ordered some paper from the paper store around the corner, and we start writing the things, the stories we call them, the backlog items on the paper. In fact, we use A3 paper in the first days. Now we're using A4 paper, so we're getting smaller and smaller. Well, that's kind of the format which is enough for us. It helps to have lively discussions, yeah? So what we see is that when people are discussing stuff without any tool and they have to write down the stuff which we're discussing, these discussions are actually much more lively, yeah? They really about the work and the product and the people. It's nothing about people don't discuss paper. It's such a simple tool, right? What else we notice is that actually people start asking the right question. They actually are now focusing on the work and on each other, not on the tool, right? Hey, can you click L so you can change the label? No, we don't have this discussion. Somebody just picks a pen and writes down the things others are discussing. And when he gets bored, he can just pass the pen and other people keep writing these things down. That's how it works. Also, yeah, this meeting might look a bit chaotic. Different people do different things. Some people discussing something at a whiteboard. Some people writing something on the paper. Some people having some discussion in the corner. But still, it's a very good meeting. And in fact, yeah, if you have a little chaos on the meeting, actually a good sign. It means this meeting is not super over-managed. Yeah, so step one is to get rid of your lists and backlogs and start writing your requirements as mind maps. That's the best tool ever, yeah? So you can use whiteboards for that, or you can use magical papers which magically stick on the wall, or you can use any kind of paper for that. Just have a discussion, and when people want to break down a big thing into small things, like epics into stories, some people might say, just use mind maps. They are made for that, normal lists. Then before every refinement meeting, what happens is that some group of people meeting together and they're slicing these maybe big things into smaller ones. Just like a just-in-time backlog management thing going. It doesn't take long time. It's not about tool again. It's about the work. So a very recommended activity. In fact, it's so good that I call it a Parmigiano method. Di metodo di Parmigiano. Yeah. If you have a cool, fresh piece of Parmigiano in your fridge, you will not grate it all. You won't do it. You cook a little piece of spaghetti or something, right? And then you will grate a little bit of Parmigiano, so it's fresh and smelly. And maybe tomorrow you have another piece of spaghetti. Then you'll do a little bit of grating again, like just in time backlog refinement in a way, right? And rule number 3 is that I used with some of the teams is that, well, as you can see in this picture, there are 3 groups working together. In fact, they are not 3 Scrum development teams. These are all mixed groups. Yes, these people are working out of this meeting as 3 Scrum development teams. But in the beginning of this meeting, we mix people so that at each table there are people, there are representatives from each Scrum team. Also with the product owners and product managers there, which means that whenever they're discussing something, there'll be somebody from each Scrum team who actually knows the topic. This fosters learning and exchange, and it works quite nicely for us. Yeah, and the thing number 4 is that basically we started to use a lean coffee format. So we time box meetings, 10 or 15 minutes, not the meetings, but the discussions about each topic. Yeah, so there's a big wall with all these pre-created placeholders for backlog items. Yeah, each group, when they finish in the previous discussion, they go up to the wall, pull a new thing, pull it to the table, have a time box discussion for 15 minutes, and after the discussion they have a vote, a confidence vote from 1 to 3. How confident you are that this story is ready, that it can be taken to the next sprint or it can be taken to the next day if you're using Kanban, so to say. So 1 dot means, yeah, we have discussed it, but it still has major problems. 2 dots, yeah, it's cool, we discussed it, there are some questions here and there, but in general we can start working on it. 3 dots, no questions, damn clear, let's start working on that. Yeah, so 4 things to get clean. Start using mind maps instead of lists. Create a little bit of lists just when you need them, just before the meetings, like minimal control inventories. Do backlog refinement meetings with mixed teams so that people actually go out of the silos or whatever that is and talk to other people about the work. And four, try to use a lean coffee or some other creative format like open space to have free discussions about the work. Yeah? So basically this is what I call a Dejirafication. So basically, yeah, I would like to hear more about you. When I do this talk live, I said, hey, I'm offering free Jira Rehab hacks. Since this talk is online, well, you can reach me with my email here and I will hug you virtually. Thanks a lot. Bye.